Do I have a message to detractors or haters? I don't have a message. I don't take my time to respond and to defend myself. Why would I do that? I'm giving you a microphone if I'm doing it. I'm giving you solace that you're in my life. I don't care. I really don't. So if it's been that way all my life, you would think that I'm used to it. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this, and I keep going. So I'm good with that, man. I'm good with that. This is a comfortable place for me. It's about us. It's not about them. It's about us. Everywhere we go, even in your darn families, you're gonna have detractors, you're gonna have naysayers, you're gonna have doubters, even in your darn family. You know I'm telling the truth. That's because it's gonna be like that. God would always allow somebody to be in your path that have a disdain or dislike for you. It's up to you to keep going. I don't stop. I keep going. I don't have stop in me. Not whatsoever, man.
Once again, Deion Sanders is proving why he was the right hire all along. 800-224-2004. So that was Coach Prime discussing what happened in the debacle that was a beatdown by Oregon football in their first Pac-12 game and really their first main test of the season. Spoiler alert, people. Anybody out there that is shocked behind a loss in Autzen Stadium doesn't know college football whatsoever. They read into the headlines, they read into the reviews, they read into all of the spotlight that was Prime and what he was building up in Boulder, Colorado. And they thought, okay, well, because of what we've seen so far and who they played against and how he is such a major spotlight and a turning point to the industry, they're going to find a way to get an upset win. Nope, that never was going to happen. And I hate to break it to you, folks. Every game moving forward, again, is going to become a challenge because if you're not facing off against a rebuilding TCU team, you're not facing off against a Matt Rule-led who has always followed one simple formula, build my team from the ground up, basically lay down a brand new foundation wherever I go, and then 2 years from now, I actually will produce major results, and a Colorado State team that had everything to play for, but unfortunately just couldn't have enough talent to get over the hump late and cause an upset win. Deion Sanders gets where he is in college football, and he's come out and said on multiple occasions, this is the worst that my team is going to be. He's not wrong. He isn't. Because when you look at what he's able to do on the recruiting trail and in the transfer portal and how Colorado is on the come up because of what they've been able to establish early on, players are going to buy into that. Recruits are going to buy into that. Everyone and their mother is going to want their kid to play for Deion Sanders because of how he is as a person, a personality, and also what type of reviews he is going to bring to the main spotlight. The guy gets it. The guy absolutely understands. And that quote is exactly why I believe Deion Sanders is doing good in Boulder. Nobody is expecting this team to be elite by any standards, except for those who don't understand college football. Because if all they see is the headlines, they read basically the first sentence of a word, and then immediately form their opinion. They don't pay attention to what goes on in building and constructing a roster. Deion's got studs. He does. He has an absolute superstar quarterback in his son, Shedeur Sanders. He has a good running back in Dylan Edwards. He has very good quality receivers from Travis Hunter to Jimmy Horn Jr. to Xavier Wheeler to Michael Harrison. They got guys who can absolutely find the end zone. But they don't have a good offensive line. In fact, they have a terrible offensive line. They don't have a good defense. It's absolutely hindered by mediocre play in the trenches, by linebackers not able to make form-fitting tackles at the line of scrimmage. The secondary is good, but it's not great. And they don't right now have Shiloh Sanders potentially playing this weekend. And they don't have Travis Hunter out there. So it's going to hurt and hinder your production even more. But the bottom line is that Deion knew this going into the year. Listen to him at Pac-12 media days. Listen to him throughout fall camp talking about this roster, on where it is headed. It's all about buying in belief. And then when he talks about how people in your own family will doubt you on what you're trying to do, guess what? They do. I can tell you right now, I remember telling my friends and my family at 18 years old, I want to become a national radio show host. I want to be able to talk about sports nonstop and get paid to do it. And many people would tell me, oh, well, you know, the percentage of you actually making it in the industry is less than 1%. You know, the ability for you to utilize this as a full-time job is probably going to cost you a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of sleep. You think I care? You think I truly care about any of that? No, I'm doing what I love. I'm doing it at a very good level. And I'm also being able to entertain you for 3 hours every single night. I'm able to do what I am loving, and I'm turning it into something that hopefully will be sustainable, allow me to be able to have a great life for my future family, my wife, and everyone else out there. I have doubters. Everyone has doubters in life. It's what do you do when the doubters go ahead and speak volume at a high enough level? Do you buy in or do you go ahead and close the outside noise? Dan Lanning came out and said after the massive win, we don't worry about anyone else besides us. We have to do our job first. And if we do our job, we don't really care what other people that aren't a part of our program say. Because at the end of the day, it's all about internal belief. Guess who says the exact same thing? Deion Sanders. And Sanders is not wrong. He gets it. He's had doubters from the time that he was a player. He's had doubters from the time that he was a broadcaster. He's had doubters since he walked into the door at Jackson State. People at Jackson State, a historically black college, did not know if Deion was going to work. And so the same people who had the same doubts put themselves right back at the forefront of the conversation again, going out and saying, oh, he's not going to work in Colorado. What defines working in Colorado? Because there is always this standard that people seem to put teams on once they get a little bit of success. There's a reason we call them preseason expectations, because it's before the season begins. You look at the roster as a whole. Hey, you're really good here. Hey, you're really good here. Hey, here's where you struggle. Here's where you're going to suck. And then eventually, that's how we come to a conclusion. This is the amount of games that they're supposed to win. Who can tell me the total win number that this team was supposed to enter with at the start of the year? 3.5. They're 3-1. They need one more win to hit the line and for Vegas to cash out. That's what they need. Guess what they have in their schedule? A game against USC, probably going to be a loss. A game against Arizona State. They're probably going to win that game because of you're probably not having Jaden Rashada out there. Drew Pine is fine, but the rest of the roster is hindered with less talent. And I would say right now, they actually are the second worst team in the Pac-12, only behind Stanford. They also have games against Stanford. That's probably a win. So now we're talking about 5-2 going into late October. UCLA is a toss-up. I would say Arizona is a toss-up. So if you get to 7-5 on this season, that is probably a testament that you vastly overexceeded expectations. You're ahead of where you were supposed to be. Oh, and also every single win probably bolsters your stat line when it comes to you elevating your status as actually being a legitimate contender going into the recruiting trail. Oh, don't worry. They're going to win in the recruiting trail too. Deion has that. Deion absolutely has that. Not to mention, he also is going to have excellent rapport and an excellent number of being able to get kids to come in for the transfer portal, proven names that probably can establish an identity very early on next season. So when they join the Big 12, we're going to see the number improve. That preseason win total is not going to be at 3.5. It's probably going to be around 7.5. And that's not going to be fine enough for Deion. And Deion's going to tell his players, this is what the organization thinks about us. This is what college football thinks about us. Let's once again go ahead, beat the odds, and prove to the world, yep, we're really good, and yep, we're here to stay. 800
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching that video. Don't hit the X button yet. Make sure you hit subscribe to keep up with all of our daily content found on Just Saying It and anything else that we post on this channel. Bye.